Hello everyone, my name is Manvith.
And I'm Sanjit.
Welcome to the Learnable channel, everybody. Today we'll be talking about the history of space and like the history of human exploration in space.
This is in Unit 3 of our solar system in Astronomy 101 course.
This is the
Uh,
last final video of this unit. So please stick around. You guys are going to learn a lot about the space exploration and human exploration in space. And thank you guys for watching all our videos. We really appreciate it. So let's get this started.
so first, we're going to be talking about important people and their discoveries and dates. First up, there's Subramanian Chandrasekhar. He was born from 1910 and lived till 1955, and he was an Indian American astrophysicist who was awarded the 1983 Nobel Prize in Physics for his work on theoretical structure and the evolution of stars. He's best known for formulating the Chandrasekhar limit, which describes the maximum mass a white dwarf can support itself against gravitational collapse before it goes into a black hole.
So now let's talk about Robert J. Oppenheimer. I hope you guys watched the movie Oppenheimer, one of the best Christopher Nolan movies and one of the best movies out there. Yeah. So, um, from he lived from 1904 to 1967, and he was an American theoretical physicist who was referred to as the father of the atomic bomb for his role in the Manhattan Project, his World War II project that developed the first nuclear weapons. He also discovered the first black hole, so it's pretty cool. And so Lasagna will be talking about Albert Einstein next.
So Albert Einstein was a German-born theoretical physicist. He was born in 1879 and died in 1955. And he developed the theory of general relativity, one of the two pillars of modern physics. He's also known for the high mass energy equivalence formula equals mc squared, which has been dubbed the world's most famous equation, special relativity. And yeah, one is going to be talking about Werner Heisenberg next.
So Werner Heisenberg lived from 1901 to 1976. He was a German theoretical physicist who made significant contributions to the quantum mechanics and is the best known for his uncertainty principle, which states that it is impossible to know both the position and momentum of a particle with perfect precision. And more Oppenheimer for lure for you guys. Werner Heisenberg and Oppenheimer were friends at one point, but they became sworn enemies during the atomic bomb project. So Sandra will be talking about Johannes Kepler next.
Johannes Kepler, born in 1571 and died in 1630, was a German mathematician and astronomer who is best known for his laws of planetary motion, which provided one of the foundations for Isaac Newton's theory of universal gravitation. His three laws are very well known and are used in astronomy a lot. Next up, Manu is going to talk about Edwin Hubble.
So Edwin Hubble lived from 1889 to 1953. He was an American astronomer who played a crucial role in establishing a field of extragalactic astronomy. He is best known for discovering that many objects previously thought to be clouds and dust and gas were actually galaxies beyond the Milky Way. He discovered Pluto. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Sandra will be talking about Galileo Galilei next.
I'm pretty sure you've all heard of him also. He was born in 1564 and died in 1642. And he was an Italian astronomer, physicist, and engineer who is widely considered to be one of the fathers of modern science. He made significant improvements to the telescope and made many astronomical observations that supported heliocentrism, the idea that the Earth and the other planets revolve around the sun. Next up, we're going to be talking about the space race.
Yeah.
So the space race took part in in the Cold War, where the U.S. and the Russia were fighting. The first person in space was Yuri Gagarin, a Soviet Air Force pilot who orbited Earth aboard Vostok 1 on April 12, 1961. The first animals in space were fruit flies launched by the United States in 1947 aboard a V-2 rocket to study the effects of radiation exposure at high altitudes. The first human-made object to reach space was the V-2 rocket, which was launched by Germany during World War II and reached an altitude of 189 kilometers or 118 miles in 1944. The first human-made object to reach the moon was Luna 2, a Soviet spacecraft that impacted the lunar surface on September 14th, 1959. The first person to land on the moon was Neil Armstrong, as you all probably know, an American astronaut who stepped onto the lunar surface on July 20th, 1969 during the Apollo 11 mission. Next up, Monit's going to talk about the telescopes.
So first, let's talk about the Hubble telescope. Probably one of the most famous telescopes, and I probably know about that. One of my favorite telescopes. It was launched in April 24th, 1990. So the discoveries and importance of the Hubble telescope, let's talk about that. The Hubble Space Telescope has been one of the most important astronomical observations in history. It has provided incredibly detailed images of distant galaxies, um, nebulae, and other celestial objects, allowing astronomers to study the universe with unprecedented clarity. Hubble's observations have contributed to our understanding of the age of and expansion of the universe, the formation of galaxies, and the existence of supermassive black holes at the centers of the galaxies, which we've talked about throughout this course. It has also been instrumental in discovering and characterizing exoplanets and distant star systems. Now, the uniqueness of the Hubble telescope. The Hubble telescope is unique in its ability to observe astronomical phenomena across various wavelengths, including visible, ultraviolet, and near-infrared light. It orbits above Earth's atmosphere, which eliminates the distortion caused by atmospheric turbulence, enabling sharper images. Yeah. Now let's talk about the James Webb Telescope. So the JWST launched in December 18th, 2021. Its importance and uniqueness, the James Webb Telescope is a successor to the Hubble Space Telescope and is considered the most ambitious space telescope to ever be built. It is designed to absorb the universe in the infrared spectrum, allowing it to study the formation of the first galaxies, stars, and planets. JWST's unique positioning at the second Lagrange point L2, approximately 1.5 million kilometers from Earth, ensures that remains cool and away from the interference of Earth's heat, making it highly sensitive to faint infrared emissions from distant objects. Sanya will be talking about the Kepler Space Telescope next.
So the Kepler Space Telescope was launched in March 7th, 2009, and Kepler was a space observatory dedicated to searching for exoplanets using the transit method, and monitored the brightness of stars in a specific region of sky, looking for periodic dips in brightness caused by planets passing in front of their host stars. Kepler's discoveries have been groundbreaking, revealing the prevalence of exoplanets in our galaxy. It identified thousands of exoplanets and candidates, including rocky planets in the habitable zones of stars, the Goldilocks zones, if you remember from before, where liquid water might exist, potentially supporting life. Next, Manu's going to talk about the space missions.
So let's talk about Voyager 1 and 2. Okay. So Voyager 1 launched on September 5th, 1977, and Voyager 2 launched on August 20th, 1977. The discoveries and importance of Voyager 1. So the Voyager missions are some of the most iconic and successful space exploration efforts. These twin spacecraft conducted flybys of the outer planets, which included Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, and their moons providing valuable data of these distant worlds. Voyager 1 is now the furthest human-made object from Earth that has entered interstellar space, sending back data about the conditions beyond our solar system. Voyager 1 is 14.893 billion miles away from Earth. As you guys all might have heard, Voyager 2 lost contact with Earth, but thankfully we regained contact, so that's good. So hopeful success for that. Also, Voyager 1 and 2 carried something called like this disk, and in that disk contained information about Earth, our culture, and all that stuff. And so if aliens ever discover that, they'll know where Earth is and what our culture is. So now let's talk about the Apollo missions. So various missions from the Apollo 1 to Apollo 17, they were from 1961 all the way to 1972. And so the Apollo's program primary goal was to land humans on the moon and bring them back safely back to Earth. Apollo 11 achieved this milestone on July 20th, 1969, with Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin becoming the first humans to walk on the lunar surface. Missions brought back lunar samples, greatly advancing our understanding of the moon's geology and its history. The Apollo program showcased the United States space capabilities during the Cold War and was a testament to human ingenuity and exploration spirit. Now let's talk about the Cassini spacecraft. The Cassini spacecraft was launched in October 15th, 1997. Its discovery's important was that the Cassini-Huygens mission was a collaboration between NASA, ESA, and ASI. The spacecraft orbited Saturn for over 13 years, studying the planet and its rings and its moons. Um, uh, Huygens probe, part of the mission, successfully landed on the Saturn's largest moon, Titan, on January 14, 2005, providing the first direct measurements from the moon's surface. The mission revealed the intricate details of the Saturn's ring systems, discovered new moons, and provided insights into the complex processes occurring on Titan, which is one of the coolest moons, and we'll be talking that in. We already talked about that. Now let's talk about the Galileo spacecraft. So this launched in October 18th, 1989. Discoveries and importance of the Galileo spacecraft was that it was sent to Jupiter to study gas giants and its moons. It made several flybys of Jupiter's moons, providing detailed images and data on their geological features and potential subsurface oceans. Galileo also found evidence of a magnetic field uh, around Jupiter's moon Ganymede, suggesting that a subsurface ocean beneath its icy crust. Missions significantly expand our knowledge on the Jovian system and its diverse environments. Now, Sanjay will be talking about the DART mission.
So, the DART mission, also known as the Double Asteroid Redirection Test, was a NASA space mission aimed at testing a method of planetary defense against near-Earth objects, NEOs. It was designed to assess how much a spacecraft can deflect an asteroid through its transfer of momentum when hitting the asteroid head-on. The selected target asteroid, Dimorphos, is a minor planet moon in the asteroid Didymos. Neither asteroid poses an impact threat to Earth. Launched from Earth on November 24, 2021, the DART spacecraft successfully collided with Dimorphos on September 26, 2022 at 23:14 UTC and shortened its orbit by 32 minutes, greatly in excess of the predefined success threshold of 73 seconds. So DART's success is deflecting Dimorphos was due to the momentum transfer associated with the recoil of the ejected debris, which was substantially larger than that caused by the impact itself. Next, we're going to talk about the Artemis mission. This is an ongoing mission, and it's led by NASA, and it aims to return humans to the moon and establish a sustainable lunar presence by the 2020s. It will serve as a stepping stone for future crewed missions to Mars. So next up, we got the Chandrayaan, which is landed a few days ago. So Mana's going to be talking about that.
So let's talk about Chandrayaan 1 launched on October 22nd, 2008, and Chandrayaan 2 launched on July 22nd, 2019. So, discovery's importance of these missions. So, the Chandrayaan missions are India's lunar exploration efforts conducted by ISRO. Chandrayaan 1 was India's first lunar probe, which made significant discoveries, including detection of water molecules on the lunar surface. Chandrayaan 2 aimed to study the moon's south polar region and perform a soft landing of the Vikram lander on its moon. Though the lander descent did not go as planned, the orbiter component continues to study the moon. Now, Chandrayaan 3 finally conducted a soft landing of the Vikram probe on the moon. It launched on July 14, 2023 at 2:35 p.m. IST. The lander and rover are expected to land near the lunar South Pole region on are landed on the lunar South Pole region on August 23rd, 2023. The Chandrayaan 3 mission is a stepping stone towards ISRO's future interplanetary missions. The key idea is technology demonstration of crucial capabilities to soft land on the lunar surface safely that the earlier mission could not achieve. So now let's talk about space organizations. So let's talk about ISRO first. The Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, is a national space agency of India. It operates under the Department of Space, DOS, which is directly overseen by the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. Um, while the chairman of ISRO also acts as the executive of DOS. ISRO is primarily responsible for performing tasks related to space-based applications, space exploration, international space cooperation, and the development of related technologies. It is one of the 6 government space agencies in the world which possesses the full launch capabilities, deploy cryogenic engines, launch extraterrestrial missions, and operates a large fleet of artificial satellites. ISRO was previously the Indian National Committee for Space Research, INCOSPAR, set up by the government of India in 1962, as envisioned by scientist Vikram Sarabhai, recognizing the need in space research. INCOSPAR grew and became ISRO in 1969 with DAE-1. In 1972, the government of India set up a space commission as DOS, bringing ISRO under it. The establishment of ISRO thus institutionalized space research activities in India. ISRO built India's first satellite, Aryabhat, which was launched by the Soviet space agency Cosmos in 1971. In 1980, ISRO launched satellite RS-1 on board its own SLV-3, making India the 7th country capable of undertaking orbital launches. SLV-3 was followed by ASLV, which was subsequently succeeded by the development of many medium lift launch vehicles, rocket engines, satellite systems, and networks, enabling the agency to launch hundreds of domestic and foreign satellites to various deep space missions for space exploration. ISRO has the largest constellation of the remote sensing satellites and operates the Gagan and SS, the Novel C satellite navigation systems. It sent 3 missions to the moon and 1 to Mars. Goals in the near future include expanding satellites fleet, landing a rover on the moon, sending humans into space, development of semi-cryogenic engines, sending more uncrewed missions to the moon, Mars, Venus, the sun, and deployment of more space telescopes in orbit to observe cosmic phenomena in outer space beyond the solar system. Long-term plans include development of reusable launchers, heavy and super-heavy launch vehicles, deploying a space station, sending exploration missions to like Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune's, and asteroids, and crewed missions to planets. Now, Sanya will be talking about NASA.
NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, is a space agency of the United States. It has conducted many successful space missions, including the Apollo moon landings and the Space Shuttle program. One of its current projects is the development of technology to deflect asteroids that could potentially impact Earth. The European Space Agency is an intergovernmental organization dedicated to the exploration of space. It has conducted many successful space missions, including the launch of the Huygens probe to study Saturn's moon, Titan, and the Rosetta mission to study comet 67P Churyumov-Gerasimenko. The Russian Federal Space Agency, Roscosmos, is a space agency of Russia. It is a successor to the Soviet space program and has conducted many successful space missions, including the launch of Sputnik, the first artificial satellite, and Vostok 1, which carried Yuri Gagarin, the first human, into space. The China National Space Administration, CNSA, is the space agency of China. It has conducted many successful space missions, including sending taikonauts into orbit aboard Shenzhou spacecraft and landing a rover on the moon. The Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, is the Space Agency of Japan. It has conducted many successful space missions, including launching several satellites into orbit and sending a spacecraft to study an asteroid. Next up, Manoj will be talking about the space companies.
So, probably the most space company you guys have heard of is SpaceX, of course. It is an American aerospace manufacturer and space transport services company founded by the entrepreneur Elon Musk. It has developed several successful rockets and spacecraft, including Falcon 9 and the Dragon, and has plans for future missions to Mars. Next up is Blue Origin, and it is an American privately funded aerospace manufacturer and a suborbital spacecraft services company founded by entrepreneur Jeff Bezos. It has developed several successful rockets and spacecraft, including New Shepard and New Glenn, and has plans for future missions to orbit and beyond. And now the new business of space is going to be asteroid mining, which is the extraction of valuable minerals from asteroids. Several companies have been founded with this goal in mind, including Planetary Resources and Deep Space Industries. Another business in space is going to be um, space travel. So like the first humans in the orbit of the Earth, like for commercially, or maybe even the moon. So thank you guys for watching this video. It has been a long journey to go through the entire course of Astronomy 101. We really hope you guys enjoyed it and had fun. We have plans to make a more advanced astronomy course in the near future. So if you guys subscribe and have any ideas on what videos or topics you guys want to learn, please put them down in the comment section, and please subscribe and like all our videos. So it would help us out a lot. So thank you.
Also, please share the videos with all your friends and your known contacts. It'll be really helpful for us as well as you guys to learn more about these interesting topics. Thank you.
You guys are going to help us grow our organization. Thank you so much.